Hello everyone, Ragewood here, back with another Etheria restart video, and today is the morning of day 3. So what I'm going to do today is show you how to master the Phantom Theatre. So without further ado, let's get into it. Let's talk about the Phantom Theatre. So I'm just going to pull up a Word document with all of my notes on it. So this is a co-op mode. This is not something like we've seen in any gacha game before, at least the ones I've played, where it is cooperative. Now the way it works is essentially you're joining with a friend, you can create a room, you can invite them from your friends list, and then away you go. Now, between you and your friend, you will end up fighting the green and the red one. Okay, so you'll both need to put a team of 5 in for this. And then the blue one is your co-op team. So this is where the pair of you will bring your units together to make another team of 5. The most that one person can deploy here is 4, so you both have to deploy at least 1 hero. Now, out of the 3 of them, the green one is the easiest. So if you and a friend are both doing it and your account is stronger, let them do the smiling face guard. Nicolette in the middle, you just have an effect on the game, but you don't actually fight her. So something just to bear in mind, but she will influence the fight. So we'll start with Nicolette herself. So after her charging is complete, she will increase the attack and speed for 2 turns to the guards, which are the dogs. And then they will immediately cast their ultimate skills, so just bear that in mind. After each action, the guard provides Nicolette with 80 charge, and the charge limit is 1,000. So each turn rotation is 240. So after 4, it will be just before she goes, then the 5th one, she will reset. Each time you lose a fight to one of the guards, that charge limit drops by 33%, okay? So we'll start with green. Green, or smiling face guard, is essentially a speed race, all right? So he has one skill called Growth, where he deals 2 hits of damage, and he gains 6 stacks of charge. Now, the charge is the sort of the speed bit that we're going to have to look out for. Each stack increases his damage by 3%, and a stack is removed after he either acts or he takes damage. So it's similar to Whitney with the clockwork stacks. You say you just want to go fast, and you want to go often to get rid of those stacks. You do that, you'll be having a good time. His second skill deals 500 damage with 100% chance to inflict attack down, and he gains 10 stacks of charge. And his third skill, he deals 500 damage to everyone and inflicts a stun, gains 12 stacks of charge. And then Smiling Face, he immediately starts the next turn after enemies act 20 times cumulatively, and gives Nicolette 20 points, and he gains 1 stack of charge. Sorry, he provides 20 points of charge to Nicolette for every 1 stack of charge that he has. So, again, to stop her generating more charge, you need to get rid of those stacks. So say, going often is the key. Now, attack down and stun, obviously something you want to keep an eye of, so bringing some sort of immunity will be great. Or cleanse, purify. Just like any other elemental dungeon as well, Reason and Hollow units, red and green, are the ones you want to use here. Blues will have that negative affinity advantage. So Hell Kid, for example, is an option. He brings shield, he brings immunity, and he brings attack down. So increasing your survivability on many facets there. Catchy the Guard is good here as well, because he also has immunity. Purifying the stun, you can bring Sania here. She's a good heal option. Doki Doki is great here. I mean, Doki Doki's great everywhere, because she will increase your speed, and she has the Purify on her backup. Also, perhaps someone like Freya with the Dreamweave to block those stacks. Those are a few options for you. You also want your fundamentals, so I say outside of attack down, you also want defense down. Dina is great here. She brings the defense down. She brings vulnerability as well. You can also bring the likes of Grey, who everyone gets. He brings you crit rate up as well as defense down. and Kloss. Kloss giving you not only defense down, but the hack in, which increases the damage the boss takes. Chiaki the Echo is another option for keeping your team moving, and she also purifies on her skill 1. And Dorothy the Wisher obviously is another good utility sort of support. When it comes to damage, there's actually one person who isn't mentioned very much who I think will do very well here, and that's Chloros. Now, Chloros is a single target damage dealer. He's only really used in Union Boss, but if you've got him, here is a place he will shine. He benefits from going often to stack up his ultimate and his Reapers. So yeah, there's only one target, it's never going to die, and you're going to be going often. He also has some multi-hits to get rid of those charge stacks, so he is sublime here. Leanne also is a unit that we all get to begin with. She is Reason, so she is strong affinity, so is another option. But yeah, moving often is the key here. So, you know, as an example, you could have Chloros as your damage dealer, Dina as your defense down and vulnerability. You know, you could have Sania as a healer, Hellkid, and Chiaki the Echo or Doki Doki for your rotation. And that is Smiling Guard. I do apologise that this is going to be a bit of a long one whilst we explain it all. But next we come to Fury. I'll go scrolling up on my Word document. So his first skill. So he revolves around an ability called Mark. So his first skill, he hits 2 enemies, guarantees to decrease turn meter by 15% on a crit, and he puts Mark on them. Now what does Mark do? Mark guarantees that his attacks will be crits, okay? His skill 2, he deals 3 hits to all enemies, inflicting decreased defense on a crit, and puts Mark up. Skill 3, again, deals damage to everyone and inflicts silence on a crit. And his skill 4, Fury, he increases his own crit rate and counter chance by 30% when he's fighting targets without shield, and he provides Nicolette with 30 points of charge when landing crits. So essentially it is important you do not have Mark on you. Reason's going to be good here, so is Odd. Those are fantastic choices for us as players, and yeah, very similar strategy to any kind of a debuff avoidance, but we're going to have different options here. Ling Lo is fantastic. Now, she might not be available to players to begin with, but come day 7, providing you have met all of the challenges, you will get her for free. She is Odd, so she is a affinity advantage. She brings healing and she brings immunity. She also extends buffs, I think, so that is fabulous. Again, Catchy the Guard is fabulous here, as well as Hellkid. Now, Hellkid is particularly good because not only does he bring immunity, he also brings the shield, so you're nullifying that sort of skill 4 in that you're going to avoid increasing his crit rate and his counterattack chance. So Hellkid, I think, is the number 1 option here for a support. If you pair him with Ling Lo, you know, you're golden. What else we got? Purify again is another option here, but again, the problem with Purify, especially with like the silence and the defense down, is you're already affected by it by the time it comes round, so you want to avoid that if you can. But Doki Doki is good. Mia reduces the debuff time on you as well. She says she's not a Purify, but she kind of is. Other shield options, for example, Tiamat brings a shield. She also brings Taunt and Heal over time. You've got Veronica, Dorothy. Rin is nice. He brings the defense. She brings the defense up as well as the shield. Celinda also places a shield, but she is negative affinity, so I'd avoid it if you can. Mia brings a shield on a single target. You've also got Valerian with that sort of pseudo shield that she provides. So lots of options in the shield category. Hellkid is number 1 though, because he covers multiple things that you need in one kit, which allows you to leave other options open for damage. Outside of the boss-specific mechanics, avoiding that mark, again, fundamentally, you want your attack down, your defense down. Hellkid brings 1. RC77 brings attack down and defense down. So you could have him in there with Linglo, who are both positive affinities, and then just have another shielder. For example, who did I mention? Maybe like a Veronica, although Veronica also has attack down. So you've got a few options there. But again, with all of these fights, you've got the option of bringing lots of damage, scoring high fast, or trying to sustain. It's up to you sort of which way you go. So, but again, an example team that I've sort of put down here, Hellkid and Linglo. You could have Rosa. Rosa is incredible in boss fights, with the follow-ups as well. Dina for your defense down and your vulnerability, and Chloros once again. I think Chloros and Rosa would be incredible as a damage pairing. Linglo, Hellkid, and Dina bringing your utility, some healing, some shields. But again, we work with whatever you've got, but hopefully this is giving you an idea on the fundamentals. And then lastly, we come to Lament. Now, this is the co-op one. And to begin with, if you've been playing the first couple of days, this is going to be the one where you just throw your crap. Your level 1s, your people who you haven't invested in yet that might be good. And you just want to score as high as possible. But eventually, maybe not in this beta, but during the launch, once you've played for a while, you're going to have more fleshed out teams. And then this is going to be another key important to scoring high. So, what does Lament do? So, he's all about speed down and stasis. So, he deals 2 hits on his skill 1 to a single enemy, a 50% chance to steal a buff, and a 100% chance to inflict stasis. Now, stasis decreases your speed by 60%, and then it just drops off after after acting. So, like a regular debuff. His skill 2, he is an AoE. Well, it's not an AoE actually. So he deals damage to the enemies with the lowest turn meter, the highest HP percentage, and the lowest HP percentage. So potentially 3 hits. And it is guaranteed to dispel 1 buff each time and a 100% chance to inflict stasis. Now, this entire Phantom Theatre fight is full auto. We have no control over it, but there might be a time where the person with the lowest turn meter is also the person with the highest HP. So there is the opportunity where it will only hit 2 people. But 2 people is the minimum, all right? Most of the time it's going to hit 3 different people. His skill 3, Soul Knight, he deals is an AoE to all damage, inflicts speed down for 3 turns. Now that stacks with stasis as well, so potentially you're going to be ground to a halt. So it is very important that we prevent those from being placed on us. And then Lament, its final skill, final ability, after each attack he has a 100% chance to decrease target's turn meter by 20%. If it's reduced to 0, it will inflict stun and provide 50 charges to Nicolette. So this is, sort of a mix of the other 2. You want to be moving fast, and you also want to stop those stasis and debuffs being placed. And he's always going to be reducing your turn meter. But he's not if you bring the right team. So again, another nasty boss. Avoid reason heroes. You're going to be bringing Hollow and Odd to this fight. Blue and green. Again, immunity is king. Linglo will shine once again as a support option, but he's always going to be removing buffs. So I think you want to treat this almost like the Union boss Hollow, where you want redundancy. So you want to stack buffs, so because he only removes 1, and just reduce the chance of it being immunity. So who do I think you could bring who works here? I've already mentioned Linglo because she has Whale Prayer, which is a buff, and she has immunity, and she, again, buff extension, I think. Tiamat is great. It's going to be a lot of people's first choice. She brings heal over time and shields. She also brings Taunt. I'm not sure if Taunt works in here like it does the other bosses, but if it does, great, you're narrowing those attacks down. Tsukuyomi has attack up, defense up, and speed up all in one kit, and it doesn't clash with Linglo or Tiamat. So between the three of them, you've got 1, 2, 3, heal over time, shield, whale prayer, and immunity. That's 7 buffs between 3 people, and your support is kind of sorted there as well. So very good sort of 3 pair if you've got all 3 of them to reduce the opportunity to have the immunity stolen. That's the key one here. You know, RC77 continues to be the Swiss Army knife that he is with the attack down and defense down. Again, Grey is another option for defense down. Kloss, once again. Grey's nice because he also has crit rate up, which is another buff. So, you know, is attack down going to be that useful here? I don't know, but I think in a way perhaps I would prefer to have the crit rate up over the attack down that RC77 provides. Rahu is another option bringing decreased defense. Slintz has her unique buff Aqua Shield, which is not the same as Shield, so again we're stacking all these buffs here. Freya also has Dreamweave, which is a buff, but it will also... Dreamweave to me is an immunity, not a purify, because if you put Dreamweave on you after you've got the debuffs, you're fucked. So I see it as an immunity here, and it doubles up there because it remove a debuff itself as well as act towards your sort of buff count here. But there is one SR that sticks out above all, and that is Chiaki the Echo. She has Ave Maria. Ave Maria says that your turn meter cannot be manipulated. So, you know, that ability where the boss is going to be reducing your turn meter by 20% after each attack will not happen. So if you have her, she is amazing for this fight, also bringing attack up for you. Damage dealer wise, you know, Rosa continues to shine here. Remolka is a good strong damage dealer, and Jadar has her Soul Flames buff, which cannot be removed. Now, what I don't know is whether the boss will try to remove it and then fail. If it does, that's great, because it's sort of pseudo, if you can target it to target the unremovable buff, sort of nullifies that effect. I imagine it doesn't work like that, but is an option. So I've thrown out quite a few people here, you know, who could be your example team here. I think Linglo is a must. I think Chiaki the Echo is a must. That's 2. Tiamat, I think, could be another. And that, I would say, is kind of our support sorted here. And what we want now is damage. So perhaps I would then say Jadar is your damage dealer. And then maybe Grey as well. So that Linglo, Tiamat, Grey, Chiaki the Echo, and Jadar could be an example team. A very good team as well for this particular fight. And that is all of them covered. So say a bit of a long one today, but I think by the time we're done it's going to be around 20-25 minutes. But it will help you score high. Now the first day or two I was actually in the top 3, although this is not updating, which I don't know why. But you want to score high. It's going to give you XP, it's going to give you Shadow Prince and Etheria coin, which isn't much. Personally, I'd rather see training data in here over the Shadow Prince. But these are all essential resources that we're going to be using throughout, and it is a daily fight. Now, eventually, when you get to Nightmare, it won't let me click on it, unfortunately, at the moment. But those rewards are going to go up, and they're going to be more impactful, so it is important to do it. If the team strategy and such changes as we move up the difficulties, I will let you know. But outside of that, thank you very much for watching. Take care, look after yourselves, work hard, but as always, play harder, and I'll see you in another one soon. Cheers.